On June 6, 1946, the sculptor Ernst Rülke from nearby Warmbrunn had to fulfill a sad duty. He took the death mask of the poet Gerhart Hauptmann, who had died on that day in his home House Wiesenstein in Agnetendorf. Later, Rülke made a cast brass of the plaster death mask. In May 1946, the 83-year-old Gerhart Hauptmann seemed to liven up. It was the first time in a long time that he left the walls of his home House Wiesenstein behind him to go out for a walk in the park, as it had been his daily routine ever since he had established his Poets' Refuge in 1901. But it was not a good idea at all. The pneumonia he had been suffering from for more than a year threw him back to his sickbed. Hauptmann had recently been told that he and his family, like all other Germans, would have to leave Silesia. But he publicly announced that he would hold out by any means, and thus gave hope to those Germans who had still remained in the Sudeten mountains. After all, though the Nobel laureate in literature was granted protection by the Red Army and the Polish authorities, his position had finally become untenable. Colonel Sokolov had made this clear to him, and at the same time offered to arrange a special train to take him and his family, together with all his possessions, to the west. Packing had started. The rooms were filled with the noise of hammering and sewing and of furniture being moved. But now, with the poet being sick again, silence fell over the half-emptied house. "Am I still in my house?" were the last words they heard him say. Hauptmann died in the afternoon of the 6th of June in 1946. Just as he had wished, they dressed the deceased in a Franciscan cowl and laid him out in his big study. The sculptor Ernst Rülke took his death mask after it had cost him a good deal of trouble to find some plaster. After all, the special train that was meant to take Hauptmann out of Silesia now carried away his coffin.